Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Controversy of Zion. This is my program where I'm trying to piss you off, scare the hell out of you, shock the hell out of you, or make you laugh and giggle and delight at the crazy things I say. Hi, my name is Zion. Well, that's my title. I am the Zion of the Most High God of Israel, the prophet foretold in the 54th chapter of the book of Isaiah. And I am supposed to start controversy, which is what this program is all about. And sometimes I just have to say, I love the way this brain works. Because I just had one of those epiphany moments where non related facts juxtaposed themselves into my brain, and a thought occurred to me. It wasn't related to anything that I was doing at the moment. I was actually watching a video previewing my last segment. And but the thought was so awesome that I have to do a show about it. Now, the show is called Why We Think We're So Superior. And it has to do with our most ancient history. Way, way back when the Grey first came to the planet. Because when the Grey first came to this world, they found several subspecies, and the most advanced of which was the Neanderthal. Now, the Neanderthal had enough of a civilization established to ensure that they would be the dominant race. They were more intelligent, they were more social, they were more tool using, they just had the right elements. And the Grey could look at the situation and say, yep, those are the ones that are going to make it. So they approached them and they said, hey, look, we are the Grey. Or they had, I don't know what they called themselves at that time. But it's like, we come from the heavens and we need a home. And we would like your permission to come and live here with you. Now, if you're willing to do that, we will help you to survive and thrive and to advance so that you will have everything that you need to become a wonderful to have a wonderful future. But in order for that to happen, we need to take some of your people and we need to use them to make us like you. They will never be able to come back, so you'll have to sacrifice them. Well, the Neanderthal weren't stupid. They said, we get to learn how to be like them. But whoever we give to them, we're never going to see again. Well, we're going to give them to people we don't want to see anymore anyway. So we're going to get rid of the dregs of the society. The people that are least likely to benefit our society, and therefore the best sacrifices within the community. So they chose the most vain, egotistical, violent, untrustworthy, lazy, gluttonous, greedy people that they could find within the society. Every single community had no problem choosing who to get rid of, because to them that's what it was. It's like, wow, we get all this stuff and we get to get rid of them? working. And that is our problem. Because they gave the gray, what the people that we call the gray, um, the dregs of society, the scumbags, the people that were least missed, and most likely to create a monster race as a result. The first evolution of our species was just monsters. The giants, they were called, because the genetic material was a lot more than what we got. And it advanced them into, it's like the gray anatomy took over the body to the extent that they became uh, like Bigfoot. Bigfoot are actually gentle, the gentle remains of what that first species was. And literally, they were just sequestered into the wilderness, and anytime they ever came out, they were killed because they were that violent and that bad. So that only the ones that survived became the gentle giants that hide themselves to this day. But who will come out to help us and to survive? Because they will survive. They're gentle enough and intelligent enough to deserve that. Believe it or not, Bigfoot's real. Go figure. But anyway, as time goes by, um, there were more intermediate species. This was all prior to the flood, by the way. And they were working towards um, purging the bad traits generation by generation. They would reduce the amount of genetic material used to take us to a place where we could maintain and therefore not recreate them in a violent manner, because what resulted was such a uh, step down, a de-evolution, that it was just not viable. So they built back up. They were building towards what we became prior to the flood. And it was a chaotic time. It was very, very genetically diverse. And it's just, we don't have time to go there. But at the time of the flood, when the Grey realized that there was a rogue planet coming at them and that there would be this flood, it was decided that they would choose amongst the very best genetic material on hand, Noah and all of the subsequent um, flood myth survivors. They were the highest echelon of society. They were the priests. They were the ones that were most closely aligned with the Grey and the most moral, the most just, the most everything that we needed to be. And so they alone survived, just enough of them to provide the genetic material necessary to recreate the species yet again, bringing them closer to their goal of integrating into our planet. But, unfortunately, the final mix was so well what resulted in us. And they found us so beautiful that they interbred with us and created a plague that almost destroyed their species entirely. So they had to clone themselves. And at the same time, it was decided that they would go in search of a new homeworld, a place where they could start over, and leave us to mature. So that when they could no longer clone themselves. And when the rogue planet Nibiru was on its way back, they could come back, make themselves into hybrid species, so that they could revitalize their genome and continue on their civilization. And we would be allowed to mature and eventually join them in the Federation of the Zodiac, which is the government that they belong to, which consists of Council of Elders. So, anyway, the reason why we are so superior is because we started out with genetic material that was egotistical to begin with, and then added to that was the DNA of one of the most ancient species, the 12 zodiac species of the Federation of the Zodiac, which is the government of the universe, so to speak. Because the gray are one of the 12 most ancient species known to exist in our universe. There might be older species out there, but they're beyond the scope of our ability to find them. And beings that our genetic material comes from one of the most ancient species known to exist, our egotistical Neanderthal scumbag selves decided that we were superior, to the point that they actually tried to wipe out the Neanderthal completely in the pre-flood age. But in their searchings, because they never stopped searching for a suitable planet, in their searchings they found a new homeworld for the Neanderthal. So when the brutish pre-humans almost killed the Neanderthal were given another planet that they chose to take up because it was best suited to them. And they're a thriving civilization. Now they have a seat on the Council of Grey, just as we do, now that I've earned that right. But you white supremacists out there who think that you are so superior, the reason you think that you're so superior is because your base genetic material is that of an egotistical Neanderthal who was found to be such a lowlife that they were sacrificed to the Grey at the beginning of our creation. They were sacrificed because they sucked. Because the Neanderthal wanted to get rid of them. So it doesn't matter how superior our Grey side is. And it is. The Grey are one of the oldest species known to exist in our universe. If that is not superior, I don't know what is. But don't let that 1% of their genetic material give you the thought that you're better than anybody else. Because it doesn't. 99% of you comes from the Neanderthal. The low-life scumbag, egotistical, violent scum of the earth. That's who we are. Unless we choose to rise above that. I'm not saying that the Neanderthal aren't awesome, because they are. I cannot wait to meet them. Because we will. But it is that scumbag element of the equation that gives us both the superior attitude that we're better than everybody else, and the fact that, in fact, we're not. So stop pretending because you have 1% of an ancient race in you that 99% isn't the bigger part. You're not superior in any way, shape, or form. The Grey are. So may they watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from harm. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice when we get to Camp Zion. if you do drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote 2 books about it. I am the Zion of the Most High God of Israel. The prophet foretold in the 54th chapter of the book of Isaiah, and I've come to set my people free. I never say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.